Oh, oh, we're live. We're live. We're definitely live. Welcome to another Game Pass Gala live stream on Escape Route British. We're going to be having a look at the Ace Attorney Trilogy. A funny thing. Is this one of them games that's Enigma protected? I do wonder. Why don't we take a look? Files. Browse. Phoenix Wright collection. Because I very much doubt they bothered to Enigma protect this. Let's have a look. Access is denied. Oh, of course. Unfortunately, I cannot check. Ain't that a funny thing? Kong, welcome, Kong's Nuts. The legendary Kong's Nuts. Objection overruled. That's how it works, isn't it? That's what Super Mario Sunshine taught me. Damn it! Why me? I can't get caught. Not like this. I gotta find someone to pin this on. Someone like him. I'll make it look like he did it. Welcome, Yugi Hakusho. August 3rd, 9:47 a.m. District Court. Defendant Lobby, number 2. If you're watching and you aren't subscribed, subscribe. I'm half kidding about getting me to 5k so I can get an Apollo Justice code. I'm half kidding. Half kidding. A cool Yu-Gi-Oh pose. Oh yeah. Boy, am I nervous. Oh, right. Oh, hiya, Chief. Ooh, I'm glad I made it on time. Well, I have to say, Phoenix, I'm impressed. Not everyone takes on a murder trial right off the bat like this. It says a lot about you, and your client as well. Thanks? Actually, it's because I owe him a favor. A favor? You mean, you knew the defendant before this case? Yes. Actually, I kind of owe my current job to him. So hold on, isn't that called like there's a word for that, isn't there? Doesn't he have to like recuse himself of this case? I'm pretty sure that's a thing. He's one of the reasons I became an attorney. Well, that's news to me. Conflict of interest, that's the one. Thank you, Kong. I want to help him out any way I can. I just really want to help him. I owe him that much. It's over! 9,000, my life, everything, it's all over. Is that your client screaming over there? Yeah, it's him. Death, despair, oh! I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna die! Sounds like he wants to die. Yeah. Nick! Hey there, Larry. Dude, I'm so guilty, tell them I'm guilty. Give me the death sentence, I ain't afraid to die. What? What's wrong, Larry? Oh, it's all over. I'm finished. I can't live in a world without her. I can't. Who took her away from me, Nick? Who did this? Ah, Nick, you gotta tell me. Who took my baby away? The person responsible for your girlfriend's death. The newspapers say it was you. Wonderful bit of storytelling here. They deliberately start this case off showing you exactly who did it, so you get your head around how the game works, and then, you have all the investigation in the next case. It's really clever how this is put together, this first case. Here's the story. My first case is a fairly simple one. A young woman was killed in her apartment. The guy they arrested was the unlucky sap dating her. Larry Butts. My best friend since grade school. Our school had a saying, when something smells, it's usually the butts. In the 23 years I've known him, it's usually been true. He has a knack for getting himself in trouble. One thing I can say, though, it's usually not his fault. He just has terrible luck. But I know better than anyone that he's a good guy at heart. That, and I owe him one, which is why I took the case. To clear his name. And that's just what I'm gonna do. August 3rd, 10 a.m., District Court, Courtroom number 2. You may notice my webcam. I'm on the witness stand. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Larry Butts. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The, defense is ready, Your Honor. Ahem, Mr. Wright. This is your first trial, is it not? Yes, Your Honor. I'm, a little nervous. Your conduct during this trial will decide the fate of your client. Murder is a serious charge. For your client's sake, I hope you can control your nerves. The witness stand. I did think it was a little bit damp, yeah. Mr. Wright, given the circumstances, I think we should have a test to ascertain your readiness. Yes, Your Honor. Oh shit, do I have to check something? Okay. I'm good. The test will consist of a few simple questions. Answer them clearly and concisely. Please state the name of the defendant in this case, Larry Butts. The defendant? Well, that's Larry Butts, Your Honor. Correct. Just keep your wits about you and you'll do fine. Next question. This is a murder trial. Tell me, what's the victim's name? That is Cindy Stone. I didn't forget. I knew. I just checked the court record. Phoenix, are you absolutely sure you're up to this? You don't even know the victim's name? Oh, the victim. Oh, of course I know the victim's name. I have just forgot temporarily. Look, the victim's name is listed in the court record. I know. It's Cinder Block. The victim's name is Cindy Stone. Hey, Johnny, how's it going? Correct. Now tell me, what was the cause of death? She died because she was hit with a blunt object. You've answered all my questions. I see no reason why we shouldn't proceed. You seem much more relaxed, Mr. Wright. Good for you. Thank you, Your Honor. Because I don't feel relaxed, that's for sure. Well then, first a question for the prosecution, Mr. Payne. Yes, Your Honor? It might actually be funny to voice Mr. Payne as Max Payne. As Mr. Wright just told us, the victim was struck with a blunt object. Would you explain to the court just what that object was?
The murder weapon was the statue of the Thinker. It was found lying on the floor next to the victim.
I see. The court accepts it into evidence.
I need a painkiller.
Statue added to the court record. Right. Be sure to pay attention to any evidence added during the trial. It's rather heavy. That evidence is the only ammunition you have in court. Use the tab. Use the tab to check the court record frequently. Mr. Payne. The prosecution may call its first witness. The prosecution... Hold on.
The prosecution calls the defendant, Mr. Butts, to the stand. Cold, snowy weather, an air of foreboding.
Chief, what do I do now? Pay attention. You don't want to miss any information that might help your client's case. You'll get your chance to respond to the prosecution later, so be ready. Let's just hope he doesn't say anything unfortunate. Ah, interesting, Kong. I haven't had any issues with it at all on my end.
Mr. Butts.
I was on 1610?
Mr. Butts, is it not true that the victim had recently dumped you?
Oh, the water lava thing. Yeah, no, that makes sense. So I need to update. Okay. Hey, what's it, buddy? We were great together. We were Romeo and Juliet, Cleopatra and Mark Anthony. Didn't they all die? I wasn't dumped. She just wasn't taking my phone calls or seeing me ever. What's it to you anyway?
Mr. Butts, what you describe is generally what we mean by dumped. In fact, she had completely abandoned you and was seeing other men. She had just returned from overseas with one of them the day before the murder.
What do you mean, one of them? Lies, all of it lies. I don't believe a word of it.
Your Honor, the victim's passport. According to this, she was in Paris until the day before she died.
Passport added to the court record. She appears to have returned the day before the murder. Let's take a look. Victim apparently arrived home from Paris on 7:30. The day before the murder. Dude, no way.
The victim was a model, but did not have a large income. It appears that she had several sugar daddies.
Daddies? Sugar?
Yes, older men who gave her money and gifts. She took their money and used it all to support her lifestyle.
Older men, huh? He's only a year older. Dude!
We can clearly see what kind of woman this Miss Stone was. Tell me, Mr. Butts, what do you think of her now?
Right. I don't think you want him to answer that question. Yeah, Larry has a way of running his mouth in all the wrong directions. Should I stop him from answering? My client had no idea the victim was seeing other men. That question is irrelevant to this case.
Ugh.
Dude, Nick, what do you mean irrelevant? That cheating she-dog. I'm gonna die. I'm just gonna drop dead. Yeah, when I meet her in the afterlife, I'm gonna get to the bottom of this!
Let's continue with the trial, shall we? I believe the accused's motive is clear to everyone.
Yes, quite. Oh boy, this is so not looking good. Next question!
You went to the victim's apartment on the day of the murder, did you not? Well, did you or did you not?
Eh? Well, maybe I did, and maybe I didn't. What do I do? Oh yeah, I was there, I went. Well, Mr. Butts. Dude, chill. She wasn't home, man, so, like, I didn't see her.
Your Honor, the defendant is lying.
Lying?
The prosecution would like to call a witness who could prove Mr. Butts is lying.
Well, that simplifies matters. Who is your witness?
The man who found the victim's body, just before making the gruesome discovery. He saw the defendant fleeing the scene of the crime.
Oh, no.
Order in the court. Mr. Payne, prosecution may call its witness.
Yes, Your Honor.
On the day of the murder, my witness was selling newspapers at the victim's building. Please bring Mr. Frank Sawit to the stand.
He saw it, did he? He saw it? Did he saw it with his own two eyes?
Mr. Sawit, you sell newspaper subscriptions, is this correct?
Oh, yes.
Newspapers, yes.
Mr. Sawit, you may proceed with your testimony. Please tell the court what you saw on the day of the murder. Okay. I was going door to door, selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing an apartment. What I'm hearing is that he was looking at butts all day. He was definitely looking at butts here. I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Thinking it strange, I looked inside the apartment. Then I saw her lying there, a woman not moving, dead. I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside. I thought to call the police immediately. However, the phone in her apartment wasn't working. I went to a nearby park and found a public phone. I remember the time exactly. It was 1 p.m. The man who ran was, without a doubt, the defendant sitting right over there. 1 p.m.? Hold on. But, the time of death ain't matching up. Larry, why didn't you tell the truth? I can't defend you against a testimony like that. Incidentally, why wasn't the phone in the victim's apartment working? Your Honor, at the time of the murder, there was a blackout in the building. Aren't phones supposed to work during a blackout? Yes, Your Honor. However, some cordless phones do not function normally. The phone that Mr. Sawit used was one of those. Your Honor, I have a record of the blackout for your perusal. Out from noon to 6 p.m. on the day of the crime. Now, Mr. Wright. Yes. Yes, Your Honor. You may begin your cross-examination. I know how to play the game. I've played it before. What exactly am I supposed to do? Why, you exposed the lies in the testimony the witness just gave. The client is innocent, right? Then that witness must have lied in his testimony. Find contradictions between the court record and the witness's testimony. Then, once you've found the contradicting evidence, present it and rub it in the witness's face. Just like that. Okay. Open the court record with tab and then point out contradictions in the testimony. Yes. Like, literally rub it in his face. Yeah. That's the plan. That's the plan. Just, like, walk over to him in the witness stand and just rub it against his cheeks. I was going door to door selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing in the apartment. Now, get a lot of extra context if you press every statement. Isn't a man living in an apartment a common sight? I find it odd you would take notice of him. I don't know. He just seemed strange to me, that's all. Like he was mad and yet frightened at the same time. Just like a criminal fleeing from the scene of a crime. The defense requests that the witness refrain from conjecture. Is Stray on Game Pass? Let me take a look at the Game Pass app. Well, Stray is a game, but you have to buy it for $24.99. It's not on Game Pass, I'm afraid. Of course, what the witness means is that the man he saw looked suspicious. But, I mean, you don't have to press statements all the time, only when it starts to get increasingly difficult to find a contradiction. Right now, there is a clear contradiction, so we don't have to press. Objection! You found the body at 1 p.m., you sure? Yes, it was 1 p.m. for certain. Frankly, I find that hard to believe! Your statement directly contradicts the autopsy report. Oh, this music is so good! The autopsy notes the time of death at sometime after 4 p.m. There was no body to find at 1 p.m. How do you explain this 3-hour gap? This is trivial. This is trivial. The witness merely forgot the time. After his testimony, I find that hard to believe. Mr. Sawit, why are you so certain that you found the body at 1 p.m.? Well, gee, that's a really good question. Wait, I remember now. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, right? I subbed, like, 2 years to Game Pass. And I barely played it when I had it. My Game Pass runs out on the 20th of February. I don't see myself renewing again, unless I could do 2 years again like I did last time. But I'm pretty sure that fiddle is gone now. You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. It was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. Oh, but it was 3 hours off, wasn't it? I guess the victim must have been watching a video of a tape program. That's why I thought it was 1 PM. Hold on. Yeah, precisely, Draven. The power was out. See, when I found the body, I heard the time. It was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. Objection! Hold it right there. Prosecution has said there was a blackout at the time of the discovery, and this record proves it. You couldn't have heard a television or a video. I will. The defense has a point. Do you have an explanation for this, Mr. Sowett? No, I find it quite puzzling myself, quite. Wait, I remember now. Mr. Sowett, the court would prefer to hear an accurate testimony from the beginning. These constant corrections are harming your credibility. Wait, you mean he had credibility to begin with? That, and you seem rather distraught. My apologies, Your Honor. It must have been the shock of finding the body. Very well, Mr. Sowett. Let's hear your testimony once more, please. Hearing the time. Actually, I didn't hear the time. I saw it. There was a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. That must have been what I saw. You saw a clock? I guess that would explain it. The defense may cross-examine the witness. Gladly. You saw a clock, did you? Anybody here who likes Ace Attorney, if you haven't watched the anime yet, you really should. Also, the English dub's really good. Recommended. Actually, I didn't hear the time, I saw it. There was a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. Hold it, my friend. The murder weapon? Yes, the table clock that was used as a weapon. That's what I just said. Did you doze off in the middle of my testimony or something? Wait just a moment. The murder weapon wasn't a clock. It was this statue. Now, how is this supposed to be a clock? You with your objections and your evidence. Just who do you think you are? Just answer the question, Mr. Sowett. Hey, I saw it there, okay? That's a clock. Your Honor, if I may. Yes, Mr. Payne? As the witness stated, this statue is indeed a clock. The neck is a switch. You just tilt it and it says the time out loud. And it doesn't look like a clock. I submit it as a statue. My apologies. So the murder weapon was a table clock after all. Yes. There is a gaping hole in the witness's testimony. I can't remember what it is, but I'll figure it out. The only way he could have known the weapon was a clock is to hold it in his hand. That's right. He needed to tilt the head. Yet the witness testified that he never entered the apartment. Clearly a contradiction. Indeed. The witness knew it was a clock because he went into the apartment. You were inside the apartment on the day of the murder. Oh yeah? Prove it! Prove I went in there! I'll do better than that. I can prove you were the one who killed her. You struck her with the clock, and the shock of the blow triggered the clock's voice. That was the sound you heard! Order in the court. Intriguing. Please continue, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Sawit, the sound must have left quite an impression on you. Understandable, since the murder weapon spoke just as you hit the victim. That voice was burned into your mind. That's why you were so certain about the time.
What's the meaning of this? This is all baseless conjecture.
Baseless? Just look at the witness's face!
Yeah.
You remember why the time was wrong, yeah. It's a doozy. It lines you up for exactly what kind of nonsense you're gonna have to put up with for the rest of the game. It's great. Puts it all in context.
Did you strike the victim with the clock?
That day, I never... Look, the clock, I heard, no, I mean, I saw... Shut up, I hate you. It was him, I tell you, I saw him. He killed her and then he should burn. Give him death.
But nobody gets, like, hung or electrocuted or shot or, you know, in Ace Attorney, you know? People guilty just turn up later in another case somehow.
Order in the court, I say. Your Honor, a moment, please. There isn't a shred of evidence supporting the defense's claims.
Mr. Wright, Your Honor, you claim the sound the witness heard came from the clock. Do you have any evidence? Let's sound the clock now, here in this court. Your Honor, may I have the clock? I ask the court to listen very carefully. I think it's 8:25. That certainly is a strange way to announce the time. Well, he is the thinker, after all. So we've heard the clock. What are your conclusions, Mr. Wright? Mr. Payne, can you tell me what time it is now? It's 11:25. Heck! As you can see, this clock is exactly 3 hours slow. Precisely the discrepancy between what Mr. Sawit heard and the actual time of death. So, Mr. Sawit, try to talk your way out of this one. Ah! Ha! Ha! You forgot one thing! Oh, what's he talking about now? While it may seem like that clock is running 3 hours slow, it proves nothing. How do you know it was running 3 hours slow on the day of the murder? If you can't prove that, you don't have a case. He's right. How am I going to prove that? Damn it! I was so close. Mr. Wright, it seems you lack the critical evidence to support your claim. Yes, Your Honor. This means I cannot let you indict the witness. Unfortunately, this ends the cross-examination of Mr. Frank Sawit. I came all the way down here to testify, and look what happens! You treat me like a criminal! You lawyers are all slime! I almost had him. Sorry, Larry, I failed you. There's nothing I can do about it now. Game over. Not so fast, Mr. Sawit. Chief. Listen up, Wright. Don't throw this one away, not like this. Think! But Chief, it's... Oh, Wadida! I can't prove the clock was slow on the day of the murder. Nobody can prove that. Well, yes. But that doesn't mean you can't still win. Try thinking out of the box. Don't waste time doubting the facts. Assume the clock was 3 hours slow and think through it. Ask yourself, why was the clock 3 hours slow? Figure out the reason and you'll have your proof. Right? Can you think of a reason as to why the clock would be 3 hours slow? Yes, I can. Maybe I can prove it. You must have evidence somewhere that can prove it, right? Find it and let them have it. Well, Mr. Wright, you say the clock was already running slow on the day of the murder. Have you found evidence to support this claim? There's a piece of evidence in the court record that can prove my claim beyond a doubt. Ha! Tough words. Let's see you pull this one off. Let's see the evidence that proves the clock was running slow. I believe it's this. Objection. The victim had just returned home from abroad the day before the murder. As we all know, the time difference between here and Paris is 9 hours. When it's 4 PM there, it's 1 AM the next day there. The clock wasn't 3 hours slow, it was 9 hours fast! So you're telling me it only gives you a time in 12-hour format? That's a shit clock. The victim hadn't reset her clock since returning home. That's why the time you heard when you struck her dead in her apartment was wrong! Proof enough for you, Mr. Sowett? Or should I say, Mr. Did It? Hors d'oeuvres! Hors d'oeuvres, I say. Well, this case has certainly turned out differently than we all expected. Mr. Payne, your witness? He was arrested and taken away, Your Honor. Very well. You see signs near where you are that say, like, open 2000 to 2530. The 24-hour clock is superior in every way, shape, form. What I refer to as military time. Even my watch, right, is on military time. You want to know what time it is? It's about that time. It's not quite right. I'm about 3 minutes fast. I'm not 3 minutes fast. I'm however 1,000 minutes slow. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. I have to say, I'm impressed. I don't think I've ever seen someone complete a defense so quickly. They do that so people don't get confused about dates. Like 20 hours to 25 hours on 16th of January is somehow clearer. It's confusing, it's confusing! 24-hour clock. If everybody was taught 24-hour clock, we wouldn't need a 12-hour clock. And find the true culprit at the same time. Thank you, Your Honor. At this point, this is only a formality, but the court finds the defendant, Mr. Larry Butts, not guilty. Confetti! I do think this HD treatment is ugly, and that the best-looking version of this game is the Nintendo DS version. Personally. And they have these lovely, super high-quality artwork that you can find in the Gyakuten Saiban court record book. And all they needed to do was scan that stuff in at like 5,000 DPI and digitize it. And you could have had a beautiful hand-drawn look for this HD collection. But no, they went with this shitty, redrawn, smoothed-out vector shit that looks ugly. Personal pet peeve. It turns out that Frank Sowett was a common burglar. He posed as a He posed as a guy that sells newspapers to check and see when people were out of the house that day. When Larry went to her apartment, the victim wasn't home. After he left, Mr. Sowett let himself in to do his dirty work. While he was searching her place, the victim returned. Flustered, Mr. Sowett grabbed the nearest blunt object he could find. Phew, I still can't believe we won. Right, good job in there. Congratulations. Thanks, Chief. I owe it all to you. Not at all, not at all. You fought your own battles in there. It's been a while since I've seen a trial end on such a satisfying note. I've never seen the Chief looking this happy. If she's this glad, imagine how Larry must feel.
My life is over.
Larry, you're supposed to be happy. What's wrong now?
Oh, Nick, don't worry about me. I'll be dead and gone soon.
Unfortunately, this is not true. He appears in many games after this one.
Good, wait, no, I mean bad. Larry, you're innocent. The case is closed.
But my Cindy Windy's gone forever.
Larry, she was a... never mind. Congratulations, Harry!
Harry?
Yes, you! I can practically see the headlines now. Harry Butts. Innocent.
Thanks. I really owe you one. I won't forget this ever. Let's celebrate. Dinner? Movie? My treat.
Oh no, I couldn't. Hey, I was the one who got you off the hook. Oh, hey.
Here, take this. It's a present.
I don't need it. I do not need it. I do not want it. I do not want it. I know what will happen. I know what will happen if I take it. I do not want it. I do not want it. I do not want it.
A present? For me? Wait, wasn't this the evidence that...
Actually, I made this clock for her. I made one for her and one for me.
Really? You? You made this? But you seem so stupid and incapable of making things. Well, thank you. I'll keep it as a memento. No, don't do it! Don't do it! Don't do it! Don't! This is when Phoenix is supposed to say, we can't take gifts. It goes against protocol. And then Mia doesn't have to, well, you know. Yo, Nick. Can you believe it? I was so into that chick. And she was just playing me for a fool. Don't that just make you want to cry? Larry. Are you so sure? Just make sure I get this right. Excuse me? I think she thought quite a lot of you in her own way. Nah, you don't gotta sympathize with me. It's okay. Oh, I'm not sympathizing, really. Isn't that right, Wright? Don't you have something to show your friend? Something that proves how she felt about him? Oh yeah, right. She took the clock with her to France because she loved you. Check this out, Larry. Proof positive you weren't just some chump to her. Oh, what about that clock? This is the clock you made for her, Larry. And she took it with her when she traveled. Whatever, she probably just needed a clock, that's all. You think so? It's a pretty heavy clock to take traveling. Well, make of it what you will. Hey, Nick.
I'm glad I asked you to be my lawyer.
Really, I am. Thanks. Hope that made him feel a little better. Right? I hope you see the importance of evidence now. Also, hopefully you realize things can change. Things change depending on how you look at them. People, too. We never really know if our clients are guilty or innocent. All we can do is believe in them. And in order to believe in them, you have to believe in yourself. That's the place to start. So I say, hey, what a wonderful kind of day. Listen, learn, grow strong. Never let go of what you believe in, never. Well, I think our work here is done. But you didn't do anything. Didn't I? Yeah, I guess so. Say, how about dinner on me? Oh, there's a name for that when you eat sushi off a girl's naked body. We'll drink a toast to innocent butts. You were saying part of why you became a lawyer was because of him. Remember, if somebody does something right, people might not be sure you've done anything at all. That's true. That's why people spend months developing inferior versions of apps and then force them on you with updates. Nyotai Mori, is that eating sushi off a lady's body? And so, my first trial came to a close. Larry slapped me on the back and said, "Gee, Nick, it's good to have friends." But I'm pretty sure he's not going to pay us, unless you count the clock he gave Mia. I didn't know it then, but that clock was soon going to be at the center of another incident. My promise to tell the chief about me and Larry would be one promise that I wouldn't be able to keep. Oh no! Say it ain't so, Sonic! Say it ain't so! Do I get an achievement? Do I get achievements playing this version? Bring, bring, bring. Hello, this is Maya. Hey Maya, it's me. Mia, what's up? You haven't called in a while. Sorry, I've been so dead tired. How have you been? Well, lonely, and it's all your fault. I wish you would die. Nah, I'm just teasing. I've been great. I'm finally getting used to having my own place. That's good to hear. Actually, I'm calling from beyond the grave because I have a favor to ask. I know. You want me to hold evidence for you? Sharp as always. There's a lot of buzz about the upcoming trial. I just don't feel safe keeping the evidence here, where I could be killed. I gotcha. So what is it this time? It's a clock. A clock? Yeah, it's made to look like that statue, the Thinker. And it tells you the time. Like when somebody hits you around the head with it. I thought you might like it. You always liked toys. Hey, I'm not a little girl anymore, sis. Now, you know I'm only teasing. Ah, I should probably tell you, the clock isn't talking right now. Huh? It's not working? That's lame. I had to take the clockwork out, sorry. I put some papers inside it instead. Papers? Is that the evidence then? Well, there's a possibility that it might turn out that way, yes. Can you come by the office tonight, say 9? But that's 9 AM. That's 09:00. Don't you mean 2100? I'll be in a pre-trial meeting until then. Okay, sis, but I expect dinner something good. Like dead cow. I could really go for a good dead cow. Okay. We'll hit the usual joint. After I get hit round the head with the clock. Alright, it's a deal. Okay, sis. See you soon. Yep, I'll be waiting, Maya. Conversation recorded. Conversation recorded. That's not good. September 5th, 8:57 p.m. Faye & Co. Law Offices. Now, Miss Faye, I'll take what's mine. The papers. I'm sorry, but I can't give you what I don't have. Miss Faye, you are a poor liar. Why, I see it right over there. That must be the Thinker that swallowed those papers. How could you know? Ho, you are not cogniferous of my background. Gathering information is my business, you see. I should have been more careful. Ho, my dear Miss Faye, I'm so very sorry. But I am afraid that I must ask you for one more thing. Your hand in marriage. I love you. You are extremely beautiful. Your eternal silence. Farewell, Miss Faye. Red, white, blue. Spoilers for this case. You win it with magical sci-fi powers. Let's start. Uh-oh, I'm late. Huh? That's strange. Guess the chief left without me. Left this mortal coil. She said her sister was coming over, so we should all go out for dinner. What's that smell? Iron? Blood? Mia! Maybe she's in her office. I smell blood. That can't be good. I gotta check if Mia's okay. Alright, fine. That smell. Blood.
Sis.
Someone's there. Chief? Chief? Chief! Ding, 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 ding. A body has been discovered. Nice one, Inu. So who are you?
The strange girl dropped out cold. I left her lying on the office sofa. I went back to the chief where she lay under the window. Her body was still warm. There was still time. And the mysterious girl had been knocked out cold. I thought to myself, no one would know. Feel it when I held her shoulder, and I moved her leg to one side.
Then, all too quickly, it began to fade, until finally she was cold. Chief. Some shards of glass are shattered on the floor. They seem to be the remains of a glass light stand. It's encrusted with dried blood. How ironic that this became the murder weapon again. The chief's chair, a simple functional design, feels pretty good to sit in too. Just like her. I can't believe she's gone. Chief, it's hard seeing her like this, but if there are any clues here, she was struck on the head with a blunt object. She probably died instantly. The thinker lying next to her must have been the murder weapon. A piece of paper. That's funny. A few of the screws on the receiver are missing. Looks like someone was halfway through taking it apart. What a biznitch! Don't scare me like that. Excuse me, but who are you? It's okay, I work here. Mayor Faye. Mayor Faye? Mayor? Samir was writing this girl's name. You just assume you find a note next to a dead body, and you just assume it was written by the person that the note was next to. I mean, come on, right? You're supposed to be like this super smart guy, Phoenix, and you just made an assumption. You made a big assumption with absolutely no basis in fact whatsoever. Bruh. You just assumed Mia wrote it? Bruh. Why would she write my name? Please, just calm down. Why would Sis write my name? It's Dick Gumshoe! I love this guy. I'm Detective Dick Gumshoe, see? Gumshoe, what an odd name. I received a report from the building across the way, see? I'm glad he doesn't say see after every other sentence. Must have been that woman I saw. Anyway, I don't want either of you moving 1 inch, okay? Great, just great. Mayor, wait, she wouldn't have... Nah. Whoa, excuse me! This word mayor here mean anything to you? That's my name. What? The victim drew this here note in her own blood, see? You don't know that for certain! Stop jumping to conclusions, bruh! With her dying breath, she wrote down the killer's name. Impossible. Killer, I'm not. Case closed. You're coming down to the precinct, Mom. What? My God. Okay, so that probably didn't come up on the microphone, but we got another cat, and the two cats have been fine up until sort of now, but I just heard what could only be referred to as a cat cacophony. And I think it might be a good idea just to check that neither of them have, like, drawn blood from each other. Okay, thank you for waiting. Hey, Sushi, how's it going? Okay, so to give you some context for why I just disappeared there, we just recently got a new cat. So we now have two cats. And they have been a little bit rude to each other. My mic's not on. What do you mean my mic's not on? What do you mean my mic is not on? Maybe your sound is not on. Right, okay. One more time for Sushi's benefit. We just recently got a second cat. Little ginger cat named Ruth. She's an adorable fluff. But Ruth and Felix don't exactly get on. And they've been hissing and spitting at each other, but it's been mostly just that. They just made a huge ton of noise, so I had to bail from the stream, go check that Ruth was fine, and that there was no fur or, God forbid, blood or anything like that. But no, it looked like it was just a very loud argument. But I had to make sure that they were fine before I came back to this. So where were we? Don't get a log in this, do you? No, you don't get a log. I was taking it for questioning and didn't get out until the morning. My eyes were heavy, but I couldn't sleep. I sat around waiting for visiting hours to begin at the detention center. I had to talk to Mayor as soon as possible. Wow. That poor Mayor locked up like a criminal. Nice beanie, by the way. I received it today! I was like, well, might as well wear it. And I was like, Phoenix Wright wears a beanie in Apollo Justice. It's fate. 17 though. That's had a long and fruitful life filled with love. It's you, the lawyer. Good morning. Good morning. Looks so tired. Are you going to be my attorney? Well, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. First thing first, I'd better get her cheered up. Yeah, of course I will. Cheer up. Really? Whoa, did I say the wrong thing? She looks sadder now. What? What's wrong? You don't think I can do it? No, no one could. Who would believe me? Even you, when you found me in the office, you looked at me like I'd done it. Did I look at her like that? No, I never thought. It's okay. I understand. And I've also heard about you. Heard? Heard what about me? I was talking to my sister on the phone the other day. My sister who's now dead. Today was my junior partner's first time in court. Wow, really? How'd that go? It was quite the scene. Honestly, I was on the edge the whole time. She was on the edge the whole time. Was she sitting there doing something else while I was in the trial? Something she shouldn't have been doing. Something a bit too... Hold on. Can you raise... The chair is a bit low. Can you raise the chair? Thank you. Much appreciated. Definitely raise the chair there. Honestly, I was on edge the whole time. It's been a while. She had one of those love sense vibrators. I recently found a Japanese drama called A Man and His Cat. All animals in the show are real, but the main cat is a puppet. Alf style. Okay, that sounds surreal. Ha! So he crashed and burned? He's a genius. One of those strike fear into the hearts of evil types. The only thing he's lacking is experience. Ah, sounds like it was fun. Well, I know who to go to if I ever get into trouble now. I don't know, Mayor. I think you might want to wait. Give him 3 more years. That is, unless you want to be found guilty. Yikes. That's what she said. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to insult you. No, it's okay, it's true, I guess. But at the same time, I can't just sit by and watch. When I think of the person who did this to Mia, I know. I just want to strangle him. A real pro, yeah, because he's part of the scenery. Yeah, the British dub is gone, but you've been posting a remade dub for Teleshat. There's something I've been wanting to ask you. What's with that outfit? Oh, this? This is what all acolytes wear. It's my uniform, you could say. Acolytes? Like people in religious training? What is it you do? Oh, it's nothing strange, really. I'm a spirit medium in training. A spirit medium? Pretty sure that qualifies as strange. Could you tell me about the Day of the Mudder? Hey, Ant, how's it going? Tell all your friends to like and subscribe. When I say like or subscribe, YouTube is supposed to make either the like or subscribe buttons flash rainbow color. I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm just going to say like and subscribe anyway and see what happens. The only bits watchable now are the opening intro. Brownie is on about a meeting in real life. Let's do it. Let's do it. Drop the trailer for the drama in the Discord board section. Alright, I'll go take a look after the stream. Let's see, that morning I got a call from my sister. She wanted me to hold on to a piece of evidence for an upcoming trial. Evidence? Yes, that clock shaped like the Thinker. The one Larry made. But there was evidence inside the statue, right? Where did this paper come from? How could that have been evidence in the case? Right, she said something about that. I remember. Do you want to hear it in her own voice? Hear her own voice, yes. I'm pretty sure our conversation is on my cell phone. You recorded it? Yeah. I forgot how to delete those things. I just saw your video, but you know what? I need the opposite, lol. I need watch time. Alright, everybody, you heard him. Go watch Ant Keeps Gaming. So you say you have a conversation with your sister on your cell phone? Let's hear it. Right. Oh. I just remembered that detective took my cell phone. Sorry. Oh, right. Of course. Next time I see Detective Gumshoe, I'll kick him in the nuts. I'll write you a note so you don't forget. Did you tell me about the day of the murder? No, it's okay. All I've been doing the last few hours is talking about it. I've kind of gotten used to it. Let's see. That morning I got a call from my sister. She wanted me to hold on to a piece of evidence for an upcoming trial. So then, when did you arrive at this office? It was around 9 o'clock. PM? Put a playlist of my videos on in the background. You know, I do watch a lot of my old content. I watch a lot of my old Sushi Bites episodes. Yeah. But it's important because it got me back into the vibe of writing in that style again, because I'd gotten so out of tune with it. The lights were off and I could smell blood. Then I found her, my sister! My sissy! Thanks, Mayor. That's all I need to hear for now. So you're an acolyte, a medium in training. That's right. The Fae family, especially the women, have always been very sensitive to the spirit world. Well, it sounds like your sister is incredibly sensitive to the spirit world right now. Ooh, too soon. Wait a second, you said the Fae family? So Mia was into this stuff too? Of course, she left a mountain to follow her career, she said. Her powers were first class too. I had no idea. Wait, what? So you're a real honest-to-goodness spirit medium with ESP and all that? Yes, in training. Well, can't you contact Mia's spirit then? We could just ask her who killed her. I'm sorry. I'm still in training. I can't do something on that level. Like and subscribe. Share Escape Route British's love stream now. Yes! Let's do it! Oh, do you think one day you might get a VHS tape with Teleshat recorded on it? I am hoping that one of my tapes has some gold. Who knows? That's why I've got 100 tapes to go through. I thought that would be too easy. Huh? Something the matter? I was wondering, could I ask you a favor? This is the address of a famous lawyer. My sister gave me this a long time ago. She said if I was ever in trouble, I should call him. And, well, I'm in trouble. Do you think you could go ask him to represent me? Sure, why not? I'll go ask. Thank you so much! I have no one else to turn to. Say, what about your parents? I see. Don't worry, leave it to me. Thank you. The trial's tomorrow at 10 o'clock. I was so desperate this afternoon, I had a look at those websites that say you could buy subscribers, and I'm like, £11 for 50 subscribers. How desperate am I? I'm kidding. But if I have to, I really will. No, I'm kidding. What? Tomorrow? Tomorrow. What if this guy refuses? They told me that if I don't find one, the state will pick an attorney to defend me. When will that happen? They're giving me until 4 o'clock this afternoon. The visiting hours are always up. I'd better hurry. I'm gonna go to Grossberg Law Offices. Yeah, I'm gonna start pushing, because SD Shin Kamen Rider episode is doing really well, I'm gonna push that to people with Kamen Rider in their interests. I'm gonna push that. According to the receptionist, the big boss is out. She couldn't say when he'd be back. Must be hard to keep track of everything when you're a famous lawyer. Not to mention run an office like this. I guess I'll have to come back later. An elegant ebony case. If I'm not mistaken, that lighter's made of solid gold. That's not a lighter. That's a hip flask. That's no star. That's a space station. This painting has been bugging me this whole time. Yeah. It's a horrible painting. I wish it would just go. I wish it would go and be replaced with another painting. Or better yet, just leave the wall empty. Something about that Kamen Rider episode is bringing in a small amount of people who have that interest, who are looking. I reckon there is a sizable amount of Kamen Rider fans who are looking for that kind of content and don't realize they're looking for it. And, yeah. Hey, you there! This is a crime scene, pal! No trespassing! Sorry, don't I know you from somewhere? Yes, the Kamen Rider episode of Sushi Bites. But it's not the most recent episode of Sushi Bites. You see, there's been another episode of Sushi Bites since Token Rambu Warriors, and it's doing poorly in the algorithm. Let me have a look. It's currently at 8 views. Yeah, it's 2.6 per day. I've had 3 votes on my poll from this morning. 2 votes on other, but the second vote on other didn't leave a comment to say why they voted other. And the other one was, it released at a bad time. That's irrelevant. If you've got time to click something that says it was released at a bad time, you've got time to watch it. Anyway, what were we talking about? Oh, right, yeah. So it's not the most recent Sushi Bites episode. But I figure that there's no point me pushing that if there's no views on it anyway. Yeah, Amazon's is the mature audience Kamen Rider, and to be fair, Shin Kamen Rider is a mature audience Kamen Rider as well. Wait, you're that Butts guy, aren't you? No, Phoenix Wright. How can anyone mistake me for Larry? Haha! I guess I got the wrong name, Mr. Wright. Sorry about that. That Butts guy, he was a killer, and you're just no killer, right? He was proven innocent. Right, and you were... Detective Gumtree. Gumshoe, wasn't it? Dick Gumshoe? Right, at your service. Hang on. That's Detective Gumshoe to you, pal. Would like a Sushi Bites on Kamen Rider Black. That would require me to combine, you know, Real Asia and Sushi Bites together. I mean, to be fair, there was no real reason for it to be separate to begin with. The only reason why it was because I liked the name Real Asia. I understand that the Token Rambu Warriors episode isn't going to be to everyone's taste because it's based on a Sushi Bites Real Asia as a subtitle. Might work. Yeah, because the only thing that put me off making Real Asia content was how hard I got slammed by Sony for that Demon Slayer episode. Like, that really killed my interests in Real Asia for, like, the longest time. We could bring it back. Real Asia has always had a... Yeah, SMEG, yeah. Sony Music Entertainment Group. Or Sony Music Entertainment Group. Real Asia has always had a kind of reaction-based approach to its content, and that's all Junk Tape Lotto and Pillage the Pile is now, so I guess it's really no different. You left a comment on the poll, thank you. Let's see. Alright, cheers. Awesome. Thank you, Sushi. No need to apologize for not watching it. Like, I don't want my questioning to come across as like, people are just disrespectful. That's not my intention at all. I was just trying to figure out why it's doing so poorly compared to Kamen Rider, and it really must be just that there are more people searching for Kamen Rider than there are searching for Token Rambu. And that makes sense. Anybody who searches Token Rambu is not going to get my channel recommended to them, because Token Rambu is a game for women, and something like 76% of my channel's viewers, no, 86% of my channel's viewers are male. So, it makes sense that it wouldn't. Kamen Rider to 5k, that's a really good idea. I'll just play Kamen Rider tomorrow. Actually, I will be... If Garlips pulls his finger out, I'll be doing some stuff with Garlips tomorrow. That's the plan, anyway. Anyway, get the name right. And don't go calling me Dick! Hey, Dick, get over here! Yes, sir! Be right there. Ahem. You're a lawyer, right, pal? If you got business here, you better do it quick. Phew, he thinks I'm Mayor's lawyer. So, yeah, Token Rambu Warriors is a Warriors game for women. It's very interesting how it's sort of set up. Quality line stricter, pal. What's that? Mia's desk, perfectly clean as always. The only thing that's missing is Mia. Gobbets was playing Yakuza 3 today. Oh yeah, the Hostess side game. Because he's playing on PS4, he can play the Hostess side game. That side game was ripped out of the original PS3 release. So I didn't have to play it. I was wondering, did you see Mayor Faye's cell phone? Oh, that? I have that. Do you think you could give it back? Sure. I mean, wait a second, pal, tricky lawyer. Oh, he's on to me. Tell him straight. I tell him why I want it. There's no way he'll give it to me. Something the matter? Oh, it's just, you know, detective. Nope, I know nothing, pal. That cell phone has a lot of numbers on it, like her boyfriend's. The cell phone holds all the little girl's sweetest and spiciest secrets. Ugh, you're trying to confuse me. Sorry, pal, I already checked all the numbers in memory. Impressive, you're quite the detective. Uh-huh. Oh, here you go, you can have the phone back. There weren't any suspicious call records in there after all. All they kept saying was that they wanted gorgeous women, so he made her up to what he considered gorgeous, and her stats actually went down. Oh, Gollips is not a man of culture, it turns out. About Miss Faye, did you do an autopsy? You want to know the results, eh? Now don't you look at me like that, pal. It's no use. She might have been your boss, but that doesn't mean you get any special treatment. Alright, you can see the report, but that's all. Time of death, 9/5 at 9 PM. Cause single blunt force trauma. Death was instantaneous. About Maya. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the trial. Sorry, pal, but this is one trial you aren't going to win. Why do you say that? The city's put Prosecutor Edgeworth on the prosecution. Edgeworth? I'm sure you know what that means, you being a lawyer and all. I guess I've asked all the questions I need to. You all done, pal? Yes, I'll be heading out now. One more thing. I don't suppose you're planning on talking to that witness. Anyway, you better not. No influencing the witness with your lawyery ways, pal. Come to think of it, I'd completely forgotten about her. The witness? Yeah, Miss April May. I'm sorry about this, but I can't tell you anything about her. Well, you just told me her name. You sent her home already, then. Haha, you're trying your lawyery tricks on me now. She's not to go outside her room until the trial. Oh, so she's still in the hotel. Guess I should know better than to try and get a detective to leak information. You got that right, pal. Prosecutor Edgeworth. That's right, pal, Mr. Miles Edgeworth himself. Wait, do you know him? You do know him, don't you? Of course I do. I know him. He's a feared prosecutor. He doesn't feel pain, he doesn't feel remorse. And I knew him at school. He won't stop until he gets his guilty verdict. Ah, don't talk about him that way, you make him sound barely human. Or barely sound human. I'm afraid this pretty much decides the case. Okay, Gatewater Hotel.
Well, hello there, handsome.
Hi. Smooth, right? Real smooth. Pinky and Perky with Garlic sounds like Panty and Stocking with Garter Belt. That's amazing! It does sound like that.
You're the lawyer, aren't you? The detective told me. He said don't say nothing to that lawyer, pal.
Remember to self-thank Detective Gumshoe for making my job harder.
Gee, this is like something out of a movie. It's all so exciting I can hardly contain myself. Oh, let me go freshen up so I can look the part of the beautiful eyewitness.
I pity the lawyer that has to cross-examine this one.
Hey, what are you doing? No touching. Ooh, bad boy. You really shouldn't pry around in other people's rooms now. You wouldn't want to make me upset, would you?
Upset? I thought she was going to explode for a second there. Wonder what could be inside that drawer. Ooh. Whew. Dinner is repeating on me now, but I'm happy to say it's well over 2 hours since I ate it, so it's natural time the body should be reacting to it. You know, if it's 1 hour or 2 hours after eating it, medical concerns, but it's fine. Annoyingly, even when I'm watching it in Japanese, the end credits are in English. Oh, with the head moving back and forth, right? Yeah, I haven't watched the show, but I'm familiar with what the credits of the show are like, because I've seen them parodied in a Scooby-Doo YouTube poop. The late summer sunlight streams through the window. There's the Faye & Co. Law Offices building. You can see the inside of the room pretty clearly from here. A bottle and 2 glasses are on the table. A still scene painting. Wait, should that be still life? Whatever. One of those is hanging on the wall. Welcome back, Ann Keeps Gaming. Do you think you could tell me something? I need you to describe what you observed at the time of the incident.
Oh, observe, incident, you sound just like a lawyer in the movies. I like a man with a big cock vocabulary.
Go, better not encourage her. You know that thing that happened the other day, the bad thing? What did you see when it happened? I don't suppose you could tell me about it, pretty please?
Let me see, well, dream on. If you want to know, you'll have to come to court tomorrow, Mr. Lawyer.
Oh boy. Could you just... Who exactly are you?
Ooh, Mr. Lawyer, are you hitting on me?
No, hey, I'm just doing my job here.
Teehee, you know you're cute when you blush.
Believe me, this is the first time in my life I've blushed this much. Right, can you just tell me what it is you do?
Well, no, Teehee, and you had your little hopes up, didn't you?
Oh boy. I see there are 2 glasses on the table. Is someone staying here with you?
Ooh, what amazing powers of observation! You must be one of those famous detectives like on television.
Oh no, not me. I'm, just a lawyer.
Say, Mr. Big Detective, why don't you go look for clues in the garbage, Miss May doesn't like nosy little lawyers.
Seems like Mr. Grossberg is out. That wasn't the most over-the-top clearing of the throat I've ever heard.
Ah! So you're the one they say has been looking for me?
Yes, that's me. He looks even grander than I imagined.
That badge on your collar. Ah, so you're a lawyer, are you now?
Yes, well, yes.
And what do you want? I'm not particularly busy these days. Please proceed.
Not busy? Then how come no one could get in touch with you?
Something the matter? You came to see the one and only Marvin Grossberg, did you not? Well, here I am, boy.
Since that video you released today, did you get any more subscribers? In the space of, like, 3 hours? 2 hours since uploading it? I'm not sure YouTube can give me that up-to-date... Yes! Yes. 8 subscribers. Does begging for subscribers actually work?
Well, here I am, boy. What do you want? Out with it.
Well, sir, actually, it's about Mayor Faye.
Oh, yes, Mayor Faye, go on.
Why the strange reaction?
Cha-cha. I'm really quite busy here, son. I can't go talking cases on a day's notice. No, it's quite impossible.
But wait a second. How did you know the trial was tomorrow?
Anyway, I'm afraid it's entirely impossible for me to represent her. Sorry, end of discussion.
What's going on? He refused me before I even had a chance to ask him.
What's going on?
You weren't just begging. You were groveling, but also had your tongue firmly in your cheek. Yes. It was just as much a joke as it was an actual cry for help. What do I tell Mayor? How can you just refuse like that? Please, tell me why you won't take the case.
Well, you see, it's just... I'm busy, you see.
But the client is Mia Fey's sister.
Um,
Mia trusted you. She knew her sister would be in good hands.
yes, of course, I know that. However, I'm sorry, but I must refuse. Sorry, goodbye.
Creep. Fine. I don't have time to argue with you anyway. I'll go look elsewhere.
Think not.
Huh? Did you say something?
I think not, I said.
What do you mean?
I'm terribly sorry, but I'm afraid that no lawyer worth their salt will take on this particular case. Terribly sorry, my boy.
Why?
I cannot say. I beg your pardon, but could you leave now? I've got nothing more to discuss with you.
What's going on here? How did you know Mia Fey?
She worked here a long time ago.
A little more skin next time. Oh, are you saying I should... Da, 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 da.
Quite the apprentice, that one. Learned my techniques in the blink of an eye. She left one day, quite suddenly. She had a mission, you see.
A mission?
You could see it in her eyes. She followed it with a burning passion. Never looked back, that one.
That's quite a painting.
Aha, you noticed. It's my pride and joy. Impressive, isn't it? Well, isn't it?
It's a shit painting.
The color of the sky, the hue of the sea, the weave of the straw hat. It's worth at least 3 million. I have no intention of parting with it, of course. No, I won't sell it. Not even to you.
I wasn't interested.
It's not for sale.
I'm not buying. Jeez. Okay, looks like I'm not going to get anything out of Mr. Gross Turd. Hiya. Oh, you're back. Did you find the lawyer? Well, what do I tell her? We'll see, just be honest. I really don't think you should use that guy. He didn't seem healthy. He was all skin and bones. What really happened? You don't mean he refused to help?
Ugh.
I see. I've been abandoned then. I haven't abandoned you! I'll represent you! What about your family? I only had my sister. My father died when I was very young. And I don't know where my mother is. Don't know? She could still be alive? The women in my family have been mediums for generations. They say a lot of spiritual power runs in our blood. About 15 years ago, our family was involved in an...
incident.
There was a man, and he ruined our mother's life. After that, she disappeared. Several years after that, my sister announced she would become a lawyer, and she left the mountain. She lived by yourself? Yes, I've gotten used to it. Oh, and also, I had to become independent, or I would lose my powers. I feel bad for her, all by herself up on that mountain. So, who was this man who, ruined your mother? About 15 years ago, there was an unusual murder case. It made quite a stir. Everyone was talking about it, apparently. The police were running out of leads, and they were getting desperate. Wait, they didn't use a spirit medium, did they? The police convinced my mother to try to contact the victim. Wow, so what happened? The case was solved, we thought. You thought? The man my mother helped the police capture was innocent. The police's consultation with the medium had all been carried out in secret, of course. But a man found out about it and leaked it to the press. He told all the papers that my mother was a fraud, and the media jumped on it big time. My mother, became the laughing stock of the nation. I see. White. Excuse me? White. That was his name, my sister told me. White. Just a little longer now before the state-appointed lawyer comes, I guess. 4 PM, time's up. What should I do? Do I just leave her and go home? I made up my mind. I'm going to defend you, whether you want me to or not. Why? Why? Well. You aren't the culprit. Someone else is. How do you know? I have a hunch. Given the evidence, it would be easy to assume that Maya was the killer. But there's something about this whole thing that smells fishy. That witness's strange behavior, was that all an act? And the way that lawyer refused to help out Maya. But more than all that, she has no one left to help her. Nothing is more sad or more lonely than that. I know, I've been there a long, long time ago. Why did I become a lawyer in the first place? Because someone has to look out for the people who have no one on their side. Maya, I won't abandon you. You can count on me. That's so kind of you. Sniff. Well, let's fight this one and get you out of here. Right, thank you. Phew, she smiled at last. She looks like an entirely different person. One last question. You are innocent, right? Yes, and I trust you. So you trust me too, okay? It's a deal. So what next? There's something that's been bugging me. Just what was inside that strange woman's drawer? It was when I tried to look into the drawer that she got all defensive. There has to be something in there.
Good afternoon, sir.
Excuse me, you are?
I beg your pardon, sir. I am the bellboy of this establishment at your service, sir.
Oh, right.
I've just come up to deliver room service, sir.
Do you know where Miss May might be?
I believe our guest, Miss May, is currently using the, facilities? If you've no need of anything, I'll be taking my leave. Please, stay as long as you like. Enjoy. Yeah.
Why does it seem like every time I come up here I end up embarrassing myself? Wait! Now's my chance to snoop around! Oh, I almost forgot!
Might I ask you to inform Miss May that there's a message for her? Please tell her that Mr. White of Blue Corp phoned.
Alright, sure. Mr. White of Blue Corp? Yes, remind us what we read 2 seconds ago. That was his name, my sister told me. White was the name of the guy who ruined Mia and Maya's mother. Could it be a coincidence? Nothing is a coincidence in Ace Attorney. There's a screwdriver sticking out of that half-open drawer. That's my chance to see what's inside. A wiretap? What would a woman like her be doing with a thing like this? I'll get to this woman's bottom. Wait. I mean, you know what I mean. Oh, bellboy? Still there? Uh-oh. Time to scram. I look forward to tangoing with you tomorrow, Miss May. In court. Am I unlocking achievements in this? I don't have Windows G enabled. The easy way to find out would be to look at my Xbox profile. So I'm curious if I'm actually unlocking achievements, because I'm not getting notifications for it. Xbox profile. Yeah, no, I'm unlocking them. That's alright. September 7th, 10 a.m. District Court. Courtroom number 1. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Maya Fey. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Miles Edgeworth. I'd better not show any signs of weakness today, or he'll be on me in an instant. Mr. Edgeworth, please give the court your opening statement. Thank you, Your Honor. The defendant, Miss Maya Fey, was at the scene of the crime. The prosecution has evidence she committed this murder, and we have a witness who saw her do it. The prosecution sees no reason to doubt the facts of this case, Your Honor. I see. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Let's begin then. If we may call our first witness, Your Honor. The prosecution calls the chief officer at the scene, Detective Gumshoe. Witness, please state your name and profession to the court. Sir, my name's Dick Gumshoe, sir. I'm the detective in charge of homicides down at the precinct, sir. Detective Gumshoe, please describe for us the details of this murder. Very well, sir. Let me use this floor map of the office to explain. The body was found by this window here. Ignore the fact that the silhouette looks a bit like a phallus. And the cause of death? Loss of blood due to being struck by a blood object, sir. The murder weapon was a statue of the Thinker found next to the body, sir. It was heavy enough to be a deadly weapon even in a girl's hand, sir. The court accepts the statue as evidence. Still calling it a statue. Floor plans added to the court record. Now, detective. Yes, sir. You immediately arrested Miss Mayerfay, who was found at the scene, correct? Can you tell me why? Yes, sir. I had hard evidence that she did it, sir. Detective Gumshoe, please testify to the court about this hard evidence. As soon as the phone call came in, I rushed to the scene. There were 2 people there already. The defendant, Miss Mayerfay, and the lawyer, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I immediately arrested Miss Mayerfay. Why? We had a witness account describing her. The witness saw Miss Mayerfay at the very moment of the murder. The very moment, you say? Very well, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Man, just threw something at me. What's this? When my sister couldn't find any contradictions in a witness's testimony, she would bluff it and press the witness on every detail. The witness always slips up and says something wrong. It worked lots of times. Should have expected Maya would know some of her sister's tricks. Alright, let's give this a try. No, Your Honor, I'd like to begin my cross-examination. Yeah, I can't remember what the contradiction is. I don't remember this case as clearly. As soon as the phone call came in, I rushed to the scene. There were 2 people there already. The defendant, Miss Mayerfay, and the lawyer, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I immediately arrested Miss Mayerfay. Why? We had a witness account describing her. Hold on just one second. Yeah? If I heard correctly, you said you arrested her because you had hard evidence she did it, correct? Did I say that? Me? I heard you say it. You did say it. You said it. Exactly what about this suspicious woman in Pink's claim was hard evidence? What? Miss May isn't suspicious and she sure isn't Pink, pal. Well, I guess she is Pink. That's enough, Detective Gumshoe. Do you have any more solid proof other than her claims, Detective? I guess pressing can have its advantages. Yes. Sorry, I got the order of things messed up in my testimony, Your Honor, sir. There was something I should have told you about first, Your Honor. Okay, give us the new testimony. After securing the suspect, I examined the scene of the crime with my own eyes. I found a memo written on a piece of paper next to the victim's body. On it, the word Mayo was written clearly in blood. Lab tests results show the blood was the victim's. Also, there was blood found on the victim's finger. Before she died, the victim wrote the killer's name. Or the killer picked up the woman's dead hand and wrote the note in their blood. I mean, come on, you just can't assume. Why didn't you testify about this vital piece of evidence the first time? I'm real embarrassed I forgot about it, Your Honor, sir. Try to be more careful. Very well, the defense may begin its cross-examination. After securing the suspect, I examined the scene of the crime with my own eyes. I found a memo written on a piece of paper next to the victim's body. On it, the word Mayo was written clearly in blood. The lab test results showed that the blood was the victim's. Also, there was blood found on the victim's finger. Before she died, the victim wrote the killer's name. I'm gonna have to press everything, because I can't remember. Did you find any evidence? Now, don't jump the gun on me, pal. Just listen, I'm getting to the good part. Found a memo written on a piece of paper next to the victim's body. Just because you found it next to the body doesn't mean the victim wrote it. Ho ho. Then who did write it, Smarty Pants? Who? The killer. Anyone can see that. Oh, you're saying the killer wrote her own name? Buddy, please. She was framed. Hold on. If that's the case, where's your evidence? Look. Huh. I guess that was a bit of a tall order for you. Those without evidence shouldn't open their mouths, Mr. Wright. Yeah, pal. Well, Detective, tell us what was written on the memo you found. On it, the word Maya was written clearly in blood. Do you have proof it was Mia who wrote that? Of course I do, pal. Lab test results show the blood was the victim's. What kind of tests were these again? Huh? What kind? Well, I hear they take the little bits of blood, the hermogoblin bobbin. I refuse to testify on this matter, pal. I'm no expert on blood tests. Yes, that was quite clear. I look forward to your next evaluation, as should you. Also, there was blood found on the victim's finger. Which hand was the bloody finger, Detective? The right hand. She was right-handed. Ha! Nice try! Uh-oh. I guess it wasn't too hard to see what I was getting at there. Before she died, the victim wrote the killer's name. Detective Gumshoe, do you get a lot of cases where the victim I remember the contradiction now. Do you get a lot of cases where the victim actually writes the killer's name? Sure, it happens all the time in books and movies. This isn't a movie, Detective. Let's talk about reality, shall we? Don't you find it a little odd that the victim would write down a name, especially the name of her own sister? The witness's opinion on the matter is irrelevant. The facts are clear. The victim wrote down the name of the accused. The victim told us the name of her killer. I remember what it is now. I remember the contradiction. Death was instantaneous. Detective Gumshoe. There's one more thing I need you to clarify for me here. You say that the victim, Mia Fey, wrote this note. That she was accusing the defendant, Mia Fey. That's really what you're saying? Whoa, what? This isn't one of them lawyer tricks now, is it? Of course she wrote it. Who else could have? You have it backwards, Detective. Backwards? The victim is the only person who absolutely could not have written it. This is a report from your department, Detective. Immediate death due to blow from a blunt object. She died immediately. But no butting your way out of this one, Detective. Order! Order! The defense has a point. Someone who died immediately wouldn't have had the time to write anything down. Mr. Wright, I beg your pardon, but where exactly did you obtain that autopsy report? When? It was the day after the murder. Prosecution's point being? That autopsy report is outdated, Your Honor. What? A second autopsy was performed yesterday at my request. Death was almost immediate due to a blow from a blunt object, but there is the possibility the victim lived for several minutes after the blow. I received these results this morning. Fabricated evidence? Disinformation? Lies? It's quite easy to imagine that the victim did have time to write down Mayor. That is all. I see. Damn you, Edgeworth. I should have known you'd have something up your sleeve. Why, Mr. Wright, you look shocked. Something you want to say? Mr. Edgeworth, I've heard there's nothing you won't do to get your verdict. What reason could you possibly have to request a second autopsy report? Mr. Wright, the defense will refrain from personal attacks on the prosecution. No matter, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, say what you will, the evidence in this report is undeniable. Your Honor, I submit this report to the court. Understood. The court accepts the evidence. Well, Your Honor, the evidence strongly suggests that the victim was identifying the killer. I suppose that's the obvious conclusion, yes. Darn, this isn't good. The prosecution would like to call its next witness. This poor, innocent girl saw the murder with her own eyes. Let the witness, Miss April May, take the stand. Exactly what part of her is innocent? Witness, your name, please?
April May, at your service.
No. Order! An introduction should not require any reaction from the crowd. The witness will refrain from wanton winking!
Aw, yes, Your Honor.
This is not good. She's already captured the heart of every man in this courtroom. Tell us, where were you on the night of September 5th when the murder occurred?
Gee, I was, in my hotel room? Teehee. I checked in right after lunch.
And this hotel is directly across from Fay & Co. law offices?
That's right, big boy.
Please testify to the court about what you saw. Okay. Give us your testimony.
It was 9 at night. I looked out the window, you know. And then, I saw a woman with long hair being attacked. The one attacking her was the mousy girl sitting in the defendant's chair. Then the woman, dodged to one side and ran away. But that girl, she caught up to her and she hit her. Then the woman with the long hair, she kinda slumped. The end. That's all I saw. Every little bitsy witsy. Wink.
Well, Your Honor, I see. It is a remarkably solid testimony. I don't see a need to trouble the witness any... Wait, Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Wright? What about my cross-examination? I thought the witness's testimony now was quite firm, didn't you? Mr. Wright, I understand you were Miss Mia Fey's understudy, were you not? You must know her techniques well. Her cowardly way of finding tiny faults in perfectly good testimonies. Hey, how dare you? Well, Mr. Wright, will you cross-examine the witness? Yeah, I'm doing it. I'll gladly proceed with the cross-examination. If only because I have a feeling Edgeworth doesn't want me to. She has to have some weakness. Dodge to one side rings a bell. Would she have been able to see that? It was 9 at night. I looked out the window, you know. And then, I saw a woman with long hair being attacked. The woman with long hair, that was Miss Mia Fey? Uh-huh. Slender, sort of. Well, some people might say pretty, if that's your thing. Your thing? And the person attacking her? The one attacking her was the mousy girl sitting in the defendant's chair. How do you know she was the defendant? Huh? Well, you know. She had a girlish physique. Women know these things. Look, I just know, okay? There was only one person at the scene of the crime with a short, girlish figure. The testimony is bulletproof, Your Honor. Hold on a minute! This always makes me think the animation is just all text. Oh no, the anime is fantastic, and there's a lot more sort of angles and stuff going on in it. Wait, what? Miss May, I'm willing to bet that. Are you telling the truth? Did you really see the defendant? Mr. Wright, what's the meaning of this?
Yes, what is the meaning? Somebody tell me because I'm clueless. About this, I mean.
Okay. If you'd really witnessed my client, Miss Maya Fey, you would have noticed her clothes before noticing her physique. No one wears clothes like this on a daily basis except her. And I'm no expert on fashion, but her hairdo looks far from normal to me. However, the witness's testimony mentions neither of these things. The testimony is bogus.
But...
Still, we don't know if she was dressed like that way on the night of the murder. She was, Your Honor. I saw her, and so did Detective Gumshoe. What do you say to that, Miss May?
Rawr! What are you trying to say, you mean liar? I saw what I saw. I just didn't think all the trifling little details were necessary, darling.
Miss May, the court would like to remind you to please omit nothing from your testimony.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'll be a good girl, I promise. Wink.
Your testimony again, if you would.
I did see everything. I did! The victim, the woman, dodged the first attack and ran off to the right. Then the girl in the hippie clothes ran after her. And she hit her with that weapon. I saw it. I did. That clock. That kind of statuey clock. The thinker, I think? Well, does the accuracy of my report not startle you, Teehee?
How do you know it's a clock? I see. Only wish you had been so detailed from the beginning. Please begin the cross-examination. And moving to the right... Yeah, that doesn't make sense with the floor plans.
I did see everything. I did!
Is that the right as in your right, as you looked from the hotel?
Which hand do I hold my knife in again? Right, it was my right hand. Right.
Satisfied, Mr. Wright? Please continue.
And the girl in the hippie clothes ran after her.
Let me have a look at it. I'm not presenting it just yet. A clock? Didn't this come up in another testimony recently?
Well, don't look so sour, Mr. Lawyer. You can't win them all.
No. But I have a feeling I'm onto something now. That clock, that kind of statue clock. The thinker, I think? Miss May, what you said just now was quite... revealing.
Revealing? Ooh, you'd like that, wouldn't you, naughty Mr. Liar?
You just said that this statue of the thinker was a clock. But there's no way of knowing that just by looking at it. Ugh. Another person in much the same position as you recently called this a clock, too. And he was found guilty of murder. Order, order! Miss May, can you explain how you know this was a clock?
Oh,
The witness saw the murder with her own eyes. That's all that's important here. The defense is trying to confuse the issue with trivial concerns. Yes, of course. You will withdraw your question, Mr. Wright. No. I ain't withdrawing shit. All my questions are legit. But the questions are all I have, Your Honor. As you may recall, I've caught murderers with these questions before. Well, only once. Objection sustained. You may continue to question the witness.
so what happens now?
What happens now is you answer my question. How did you know it was a clock?
What? That's... because I've heard it? Yeah, I heard it say the time. So you've been to the lore offices of Fayenco? No? Hey, I didn't say that. Why would I go there? I heard it from my hotel room. Lore office of Fayenco, where the murder took place, is very close to the hotel. She could have easily heard the clock. Well, Mr. Wright, are you satisfied? No, Your Honor. I'm not satisfied because... Your Honor, members of the court, it is inconceivable that the clock in question rang. That clock is missing its clockwork. How could you possibly... Just take a look, right now. Oh. See anything interesting, Your Honor? It's as the defense says. This clock is missing its clockwork. Because the truth is, I'm not wearing a tie. It's quite empty. Mr. Wright, would you care to explain to the court the meaning of this? It's as you can see. The clock was empty. It couldn't have rung. Therefore, this witness is a big fat liar. Fat? Well, Miss May? Tisk, tisk. Quite a show you put on for us, Mr. Wright. He knew the clock was empty. Somehow he knew! I'm afraid that you've forgotten one thing, however. Indeed, the clock is empty. As you say, it can't ring. However, we must ask, when was the clockwork removed? If it was after the witness heard the clock, then there is no contradiction. And that is exactly what happened, Your Honor. Yes, I can prove the clockwork was missing beforehand. I have proof. What? Wasn't it you who told me proof is everything? Well, I was listening. And now I'll show you the proof you like so much. The proof, the evidence that proves the clockwork was removed is... September 5th, 9:27 a.m. Take a look at this. That's a very cute cell phone. Oh-hoo, you have a girly phone. Wait, this isn't my phone. Listen. This is the defendant's cell phone, and it contains a recording. A recording of a conversation that she had with the victim on the day of the murder. Order, order! The defendant's cell phone? This wasn't brought to my attention. Perhaps Detective Gumshoe overlooked it. The good detective better remember he's up for evaluation soon. I gotta say, I'm starting to feel bad for the big fella. Let's hear the conversation. So you just want me to hold on to the thinker for you, then? If you could. I should probably tell you, the clock isn't talking right now. Huh? It's not working? That's lame. I had to take the clockwork out, sorry. Your Honor, I think this makes it clear the clockwork was already gone by the time this was recorded. Which was well before the witness even arrived at her hotel. Well, Miss May, would you care to explain this to the court? Just how did you know that weapon was a clock? Well, isn't it obvious? I saw that clock before. What store was that again? I go to so many. Oops, I forgot. So the witness had seen it before. That would make sense. Does the defense have any objections? Yes. The witness claims she had seen it before. This directly contradicts a piece of evidence already submitted to this court. Well then, let's see it. Made by Larry Butts. It's simple. This clock was never in any store, ever. What? A friend of mine made that clock. Only two exist in the world. And the one that isn't here is in police custody. Impossible. Everything is sold in stores.
Miss May, I think it's time you went shopping for a better excuse. Oh, excuse is not on sale today?
Ooh. Oh.
Oh no. What's it to you, porcupine head? The stupid clock doesn't matter, okay? She did it, and she should die for it. Die! The freakouts are the best part of this game series. Whoa, let's not get ahead of ourselves. This is a court of law, and the witness will remain calm.
Oh. Silly me. Did I, lose it? I guess I did. Teehee.
Wink. Miss May, let me ask. Tell me, how did you know the weapon was a clock? She just straight up looks like a character out of JoJo. It's great. Like, straight up here, she looks like Jolene. In the face. Oh dear. Does the defense have an opinion on this behavior? Yes, Your Honor. Allow me to explain how I see the truth of the matter. Miss April May, you knew the weapon was a clock because... the witness had never held the clock in her hand. However, she heard that it was a clock. She heard? That is correct, Your Honor. There is no other way she could have known the thinker was a clock. And I can show you the proof. Well, this is interesting. Let's see it then. Show me the evidence proving the witness had heard the murder weapon was a clock. Look at this. Ooh, that! I found this in Miss May's room. Mr. Wright, please explain to the court what this is. Miss April May, you were tapping the victim, Miss Mia Fey's phone, were you not? Ugh. Your Honor, this is irrelevant. I'm not entirely sure that it is. Objection overruled. It troubles me that our witness was in possession of a wiretap. This is outrageous. Does the defense truly claim that the witness was tapping her phone? Absolutely. Even if that was the case, which is not, you still have to prove one thing. Did the victim ever say that the weapon was a clock on the phone? Can you prove that? I think not. Oh yeah, I think I can. It's simple. What? Here's my proof. The proof that the victim said on the phone that the weapon was a clock is... it's a clock! I present the defendant's cell phone. Yes, we've seen that. Listen once more to the conversation between the defendant and victim. Mia, what's up? You haven't called in a while. Well, actually, there's something I want you to hold on to me. Again, what's it this time? It's a clock. It's made to look like that statue, the thinker, and it tells you the time. Miss April May, you used a wiretap to listen to this conversation! That's how you knew the thinker was a clock. Am I wrong? Your Honor, this is ridiculous. Your Honor, look at the witness's face. Does she seem amused to you? The defense demands an answer. La la. Witness, answer the question. Did you tap her phone? Miss May! Shut up, all of you! What gives you the right to talk to me like that? You lawyer.
It's no fair, all of you ganging up on me like that. Oh, I'm the bad girl, is that it? Is that it? Way.
That did it. The court's seen the real Miss April May now. Now to deal the final blow. Why did you tap her phone? Answer the question.
Do I have to? Isn't this a murder trial? It isn't tippity-tapping or irrelevant?
She's saying exactly what Edgeworth wants her to say. Miss May, you were tapping the victim's phone. I hardly call that irrelevant. While this court does not condone the defense's tone of voice, he has a point. Well, Miss May, do you have an explanation for the court? Can you prove you had nothing to do with this murder, even though you tapped her phone? Ha, I'd like to see her pull that off.
Mr. Lawyer, I saw that evil, evil grin. You were probably thinking I'd like to see her pull that off, weren't you?
Damn, she's good.
Well, you're not the first man who's thought that, and of course, I can and will.
Can't be serious, no way.
Way, I say, way, and oh, I assure you I'm serious, Mr. Lawyer. Okay, so, the killing happened around 9 at night? Why, that's just when I was getting room service from that sweet bellboy.
Room service?
Iced coffee, I believe it was. Iced coffee, you know, like normal coffee, but cold. You don't drink it quick, the ice melts and then you have regular cold coffee.
Iced coffee?
You think I'm making this up? Ask the bellboy, Wink.
Ergo, the witness was not on the scene at the time of the murder. But I didn't think she was. So where does that leave us? It is my great displeasure to inform you that the witness appears to have been tapping the victim's telephone. However, that is a separate crime with no bearing on the current case whatsoever. Her testimony stands. She saw the defendant, Mayor Fay, commit murder. No, they're going to let her just walk away! There's no way I can win this unless I tie Miss May to the murder somehow. Well, does the defense have anything to say? Well, come think of something. Right, on with the cross-examination. What exactly do you have left to examine, Mr. Wright? Miss April May is admitted to the wiretap, yes. That bears no relevance to the case at hand, murder. There's no way you can prove any connection. Wait, Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Wright? The defense would like to call the bellboy after all. Tisk, tisk, tisk. As I thought. May I remind you, dear Wright, should you question the bellboy, and Miss April May's alibi prove to be solid, then by default your client Mayor Fay will be pronounced guilty. Are you prepared to accept my condition? Edgeworth. He's got me backed into a corner, but I don't see any other way to take this. I accept. Very well. Okay, Mr. Bellboy. We were ready for the witness to testify. It certainly does look like a bellboy. Yes, sir. I received your summons in the middle of work, sir. I'm happy to be of service. That tea set looks rather heavy, so without further ado, the witness may begin his testimony. Very good, sir. I am the head bellboy at the Fine Gatewater Hotel, in business for 4 generations. I believe I received a call after 8 in the evening from our guest, Miss May. She asked for an iced coffee to be brought at her at 9 on the dot, sir. I brought it to her at precisely the requested time, of course. He's staring down at chest. And I delivered the iced coffee to our guest, Miss May herself. I see. The defense may begin its cross-examination. Right. I'm ready. I hope. This is it. If I can't prove Miss May was involved with the murder now, Mayor will be finished. I'm the head bellboy at the Fine Gatewater Hotel, in business for 4 generations. I believe I received a call after 8 in the evening from our guest, Miss May. She asked for an iced coffee to be brought to her at 9 on the dot, sir. 9 on the dot, you say? Yes, I confirmed that detail several times. She was watching a program on TV and wished to drink after she finished, sir. 9? The time of the murder. I brought it to her at precisely the requested time, of course. Precisely 9, then? Precisely, exactly, and most definitively, sir, 9 p.m. How can you be so sure? Miss May was quite insistent that it be brought there. Oh, bellboy, tee-hee. I'd like iced coffee at exactly 9. Something like that, sir. Therefore, I knocked on her door at the crack of 9, sir. Why'd she be so particular about the time? If you press and it doesn't immediately end and loop, then it's got to be here where the contradiction is. Are you sure it was Miss May on the phone? Absolutely, sir. How can you be so certain? I checked Miss May in personally, sir, and not only did I see her in all her stunning radiance, but I also heard her voice. And then I saw them. And I... The point being, I remembered her quite well, sir. Yes. Right, okay. I think the contradiction is on the last... box. I think it's on the last box. Let me have a look. It's gonna be the phone. But what's the context? At 9 on the dot. I honestly can't remember the solution to this one. Let's try and suss it out. What exactly is it you do at the hotel? Why? Anything required of me, sir? I check in guests, I check out guests, I clean rooms, I make beds. Even deliver room service, sir. I check Miss May in personally. Are you always so prim? We'll refrain from asking frivolous questions. Absolutely, sir. So very absolutely, sir. It's an endearing mannerism of mine. Well, when I brought the room service, sir, the guest, sir, favored me with an embracer, sir. An embracer? Is that French for embrace? It's French for kiss, sir, but not a French kiss, sir. More of a peck on the cheek. Would she have done that? I believe perhaps she was momentarily swayed by my prim demeanor, sir. It's a moment I shall never, ever forget. Yeah. Can't let this happen, can I? Protest! Wait, please wait. Yes, does the defense have something to add? One last question, let me ask one last question! Your Honor, I must object. The charade of justice has gone on long enough. Now, Mr. Edgeworth, Mr. Wright, I will give you one more question and that is all. Okay, this is really it now. This is my last chance. What do I ask him about? Tell me about the check-in. Tell me about when you checked in Miss May. Oh, alright, very well, sir. My first thought was that she was a beautiful, beautiful person. She's just my type of girl, so it was a disappointment, really. I see. Excuse me. What exactly was a disappointment? Well, I am not without charm, sir, but even I'd have little chance with her lover there. What did he say? What did you say? Rather, quite. Bellboy, tell us the truth now. Did Miss May check in with another person? I object. That was objectionable. Objection overruled? The witness will answer the question. Yes, I see. Why did you not mention this in your testimony? Well, sir, you didn't ask. Let's try it. That's the sort of thing you're normally supposed to mention. Ah, yes, quite. Indeed. It was the, good barrister there, Mr. Edgeworth, who... He asked me not to mention it if I wasn't specifically asked, sir. Ugh! You fool. I've done it, I've won. Miss April May checked into a twin room with a man, correct? Yes, sir. Then, when you brought them room service, you didn't see that man in the room? That's right, sir. Your Honor, we have just learned of another person involved who may have been the murderer. In light of this new fact, I hold that it's impossible to judge the defendant. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Edgeworth? And who, Mr. Wright? Who is this other person? Simple, it was... the man who checked in with Miss May. Your Honor, as has been previously revealed, Miss April May was tapping the victim's phone, yet Miss May herself has an alibi at the time of the murder. However, that does not clear the man that was with her. The bellboy saw no one else in the room at the time of the murder. My, what a convenient little setup, but it's too late. Too late? I suppose you'd like it if it was too late, wouldn't you? After all, it was you who hid the presence of this other man from the court. Upstart, amateur. These accusations are ludicrous. Oh, Edgeworth, yeah, prick. Enough! The court acknowledges the defense's argument. I expect the prosecution and defense to look into this matter fully. Am I understood? Yes. Yes, Your Honor. That is all today for the trial of May Fay. Court is adjourned. Mr. Wright! You were amazing in there! Really? I think I might be your newest fan. Oh, I was just doing my job, you know? But again, that other attorney was pretty cool too. Huh? That face of his with his eyes wide and trembling lips? It sent shivers up my spine. If you say so. So what happens with me? Do I get to go home now? Well... no, I don't think so. Not yet. Oh, I see. But I got a great lead in today's trial. A lead? That man with Miss May, he's the key. Well, I get it. What happened to Miss May after that anyway? I heard they arrested her. I guess she's learning her charms won't work everywhere. She's probably at the detention center now. I may have to go down there later. Anyway, this case is far from closed. Yes, sir. I'm gonna find out more about this man. Do you think he was the one who... Maybe so. Sis, don't worry, I'll find it by tomorrow, I promise. I'm counting on you. I asked for a full record of April May's testimony. I thought it might come in handy during the trial tomorrow. But now that I have it, I'm not so sure. Most of her testimony was all lies. In fact, there's only one part that hasn't been stricken from the record. Victim dodged an attack, then ran to the right, but she was caught and struck. I don't know how much good this will do me at all for now. Anyway, time to hit the pavement and do some investigating. Maya doesn't belong in that detention center, and it's up to me to set her free. Now, as much as I would love to stream endlessly into the hours of the morning, I am busy doing stuff tomorrow. Stuff with gallops. So, I have to bounce. But, thank you very much for joining me. Is the general consensus to carry on doing Ace Attorney? Because it's nice to be back into it. And it's a Game Pass game, and it's making use of my Game Pass sub. I wouldn't be playing it otherwise. And I'm getting achievements. Well, we'll figure that out. Alright. Thank you very much for being here. Inuyuki Hakusho, Johnny, Draven, Sushi, and anybody else who's still here. Thank you very much for watching. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Alright, take care, bye-bye.